opening song. Yeah.
So, this is going to be just a rant on something that's probably inconsequential to no one, but matters a lot to me, and that's all that really matters. And that's the people using the of all time moniker, I believe is the correct term, where people put like, this is my favorite book of all time, this is my favorite movie of all time, this is my favorite video game of all time, which I feel like a lot of people don't use correctly. I'm just going to kind of use video games and whatnot as my main group I'm talking towards, because that's kind of the group of people I'm most affiliated with, or I interact with the most, if that makes sense. But I guess it's kind of apply to everything. And that's not to say that if you have a favorite video game of all time, that it's not your favorite of all time, but I feel like there's a lot of people that just use it interchangeably, or use it incorrectly, I guess. Because I feel like what a lot of people mean is it's your favorite video game you've ever played, but it's not of all time. Because, for example, I guess the thing that kind of started me really thinking about this was I saw some, it was a Zelda or something, top 10 list or top 5 list, where the person was like, these are my new favorite Zeldas of all time. If it was your favorite of all time, they shouldn't really be changing, really? I mean, maybe like top 5 or whatever, like your number 1 should never really change. If it's your favorite of all time, it should never really change. Because, fun fact about time, little space-time lesson here, like time's been going on forever before you, and after today it's still going to be going. So are you confident saying that Zelda game's going to be your favorite for the rest of the time that you're here? I mean, maybe who might say that won't be your favorite Zelda game, but if it's so interchangeable, and not just Zelda, let's say Final Fantasy or Halo or whatever, like if it's changing frequently or it's easy for it to change, don't say of all time, just put you've ever played, because that's kind of what it is. Though I can completely understand if you have a favorite of all time, if it was a perfect game at the perfect time, or you're just extremely nostalgic for it, like that makes sense. Put the of all time, because then I feel like the of all time thing would mean more, because if it's just put in front of everything, then I don't know, I feel like it loses its meaning. Yeah, sure, no, whatever, it gets all clickbaity and gets the views, which is understandable, I get it. But come on, man, I don't know, I think the of all time thing should be a bit more special than literally any of your favorite game, whatever, that's really interchangeable. Because if there's a game that is somebody's like favorite for forever, like somebody who loves Chrono Trigger, for example, loved it from the Super Nintendo, and like they played it in their formative years, maybe they played it with like a brother or like a best friend or something, and it's just that adventure will stick with them through the rest of their life, and there's no way a game could compare with that, because they're not going to ever be that age again, and you're never going to have those moments with a family member or friend or whatever again, because you can't really repeat that. Yeah, it's favorite of all time, it's never going to be replaced because you can't replicate that. But if it's like Breath of the Wild that just came out and you're like, well, this is my new favorite game of all time, it's not really of all time, it's just your favorite you've ever played. Whatever, that's just me. And I guess this is going to be really hypocritical for me to say, but like I have a favorite video game of all time, but I know that because that's never going to change. Like I would be surprised if something could replace that experience I had, because to be honest, the game itself isn't amazing. Like it's a good game, it's not terrible, don't get me wrong, but it's more just the adventure to play it, the people I played it with, and all that stuff that made it my favorite. And I can't ever replicate that. And I feel like stuff like that is what we should use the of all time moniker for. But that's just me. And also, when people say like something's the best of all time, like this is an entirely different discussion, but when people say the best of all time, like that just gets me so, I don't know, it rubs me the wrong way, because something can't be the best of all time, because then you're implying nothing's ever going to be better than it down the road, and best is such a subjective thing. Like what's best for you might not be best for somebody else. But I don't know. That's an entirely different discussion. I just felt like I should touch on it because it's the of all time thing, and I feel like people are just misusing it. But if you're not, great. I'm not saying you can't you can't use it correctly. It's fine. But I just wanted to, at least give my side of this unexistent argument or discussion. Let's say discussion. That sounds a lot better. Yeah. I guess let me know if you actually have a favorite game of all time, or if not, a favorite game you've ever played. I would like to know. And if you do have a favorite game of all time, what makes it your favorite of all time that you're confident it's never going to change? I would love to hear those stories, and maybe someday I'll make a video or something discussing why my favorite game of all time is my favorite game of all time. I kind of wanted to save that for a special something because it's a very important game in my life. So that's why it's my favorite of all time. Alright, I'll see how this rant turned out. Maybe I won't use the steak. Whatever. I'll see y'all soon, everyone. Have a good day.